Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, great and wonderful people of Biafra, lovers of freedom all over the world. I greet you and I salute you and I welcome you to this program. While you are joining, share this video, invite others to join. Wherever you are joining from, share the video, invite others to join, because this morning, afternoon, and night, depending on where you are, we are going to be touching so many things. We are going to actually be exposing and bringing your mind to it. So many things that you probably must have forgotten. I want, to bring your mind to them so that you will understand that the move made by these people, it is not just an ordinary move. Now you will understand that there are investment people who were invested into this struggle for them to actually behave and act as if they are part of you. They believe in your ideology. They champion your philosophy, only to find out that these people are indeed not part of you. Now, great Biafrans all over the world, lovers of freedom all over the world, and our Oduduwa brothers and sisters, if you are joining us this afternoon, morning, evening, depending on your place of domicile, I want you to share this video, because injury for one is injury for all. Share this video. It is 13 minutes before the top of the hour. We are live and we are direct, regardless of where you are watching us from. Share this video, invite others to join. This time I am going to actually start with, of course, you saw the poster here, not this one, rather, sorry. You see this poster here. This poster is about the comment made by this Kai media. Remember, I promised that I am going to give Sunday Igboho from now till Friday to confirm to us the reason why he chose to work with the enemy of Mazen Nnamdi Kanu. But the response I got, I believe I got this response, so quickly. That is the reason why I will no longer wait until that day which I gave to Sunday Igboho to come out and explain to us exact reason why he chose to disobey the order of Mazen Nnamdi Kanu. Not only disobeying it, because Mazen Nnamdi Kanu gave us order and tell us whom we must follow when in the time of difficulties. And we were actually presenting it to the world that anybody who has been indeed interested in the struggle will hear our voice, and he will know rather that we have been infiltrated. And anybody who behave as if they don't know, it means these people are part of the agendist. Now I am going to clear up a lot of things that you may have forgotten this time around. I am not going to leave any stone unturned. I am not going to spare anybody. First of all, I am going to actually remove this picture that I have Sunday Igboho on it. The reason why I am going to remove it, let me actually show you what I am talking about. Let me show you what. If you look at these pictures, you will see one side is Mazen Nnamdi Kanu, the other side is Sunday Igboho. And the reason why, if I put it this way, you will see Sunday Igboho. The reason why I was using his picture, it is not because I never ever, I don't know exactly the relationship between him and the struggle. It is not whether he is a leader of the Yoruba struggle or not. I used it because of those who are actually violated in the name that they have committed a crime while fighting for their freedom. I used it believing that he is truthful to the cause of the freedom that he is fighting for. I used it because I am a freedom fighter. I support every freedom fighters around the world because I understand and I know what it is to lose your freedom. And I know exactly what it takes to achieve that freedom that you must have lost back. That is the reason why I decided that I will stand in solidarity with Mr. Sunday Igboho ever since they were, he was actually arrested in Benin Republic while running away for his life from Nigeria. Now, in this time around, I want to publicly show you that I am removing this picture from my background. I rather leave that background dark, or I put something different from that background. Instead of having his picture, I am going to replace that picture and stretch the one of Mazen Nnamdi Kanu back into where it should be. The reason being that I am not a recycler of failure. Number one is that Sunday Igboho has shown us that he is not truthful to his cause. Sunday Igboho has shown us that he is indeed Afonja in the Yoruba land. Of course, so many of you might not know the story of Afonja. And the reason why I am talking about this, it is from the history. Of course, so many of you know that some of the our Yoruba brothers, they can never ever be, they are not resolute, if I may put it that way. They are not formidably resolute. They might actually give up. They might actually sell you out. I am talking about some of them who inherited that from the lineage of Afonja. Of course, I will actually advise all of you to go and check the story of Afonja from Ilorin, how he let Ilorin slip off through his finger. Now, I want you to actually understand that some people are still bearing that bloodline, just like Ifa Ajuna. Some people in our land are bearing that bloodline of Ifa Ajuna, and it will never escape from their DNA until they die. Regardless of everything they do, they will come to a point where they are the spirit of Afonja, the spirit of Ifa Ajuna will click into their DNA and it will start controlling them. Now, I want to remind you that in the year, okay, first of all, let me remind you the reason why. Let me show you the reason why I am doing this. But before I go there, let me remind the world, within 10 seconds or 20 seconds, the reason, the direct instruction given to us by Mazen Nnamdi Kanu before he was abducted. Listen to this.
Anybody not following anything that DOS says goes. Anybody not following orders from Chike, Dosiem, from DOS, you will be removed, and sanctioned appropriately. Before we remove you without knowing where you are. This time around, we will catch you before we remove you. Anything DOS says is what goes. Nzurumike is heading our reconciliation committee. If he calls you on the phone, you must listen to him and do as he says. He is our deputy head of Directorate of State, led by Mazi Chike, Dosiem. They are the highest decision-making body in IPOB. If that thing is difficult, then now refer it to me. Do you understand? Anything, if they call you on the phone, you don't return their call, or you're doing strong head, I will then believe that the zoo has brought you over and you'll be dealt with. Edo State, be warned.
Now, this is where my drive come from. Not only this place. Like I said before, I sent a delegate to see Ohamadike in Abuja last year, 2021, which after I got my own confirmation that Simon Ekpa was not given any special assignment by Ohamadike. Simon Ekpa is just doing what he is doing for the sake of his benefit, that Ohamadike said we should not actually give him popularity. Which from there, we saw that what this guy is doing, we need to come out to actually address it. We must address it. Otherwise, the people, international world, free world that we are dealing with, we believe that we are the ones behaving like terrorists. They will believe that IPOB led by Mazen Nnamdi Kanu are the ones behaving like terrorists, because the primary plan of the infiltrator was to make this organization to be called a terrorist. That is the reason why they started with, I will kill this person, I will do that, I will do this, go and get me this person, or the Biafra will do. You know, he started on that note. Immediately, they wanted to actually attract the interest of international community to call IPOB a terrorist, that they may now go join that with the autopilot. Because the structure, the autopilot you see is their structure. They want IPOB to be blacklisted so that they will use autopilot to actually surface autopilot, which means they have taken the struggle from Ohamadike, because Ohamadike will not be released if this struggle, if international community call us a terrorist. That was the plan, so that they will give you a shoulder to cry upon with autopilot. And when they failed, and that is the reason why I myself disobeyed Mazen Nnamdi Kanu's instruction by telling us we should not make the idiot relevant. That was direct message I got from Mazen Nnamdi Kanu. Now, that was when I had to also engage in debunking every of his activities, because if IPOB is labeled a terrorist, Mazen Nnamdi Kanu is not out there to see, the level of his evil and atrocities against the struggle. That is the reason why he said we should not give him relevance. But I could not help it, because indeed, I decided to join force and start debunking his activities for the whole world to know that we are not what Simon Ekpa is projecting that we are. We are IPOB, rooted under command and control, central command of everything we do. And we are, our slogan is discipline. If you are not disciplined to the core, you will not be in this noble movement. You will not be, among those fighting for this noble cause of, restoration of Biafra and the freedom of Umuchukwu. But because all these things transpired, we gave him that relevance. It is okay that we gave him that relevance. And it is also tops that we protected our name from being labeled a terrorist. If you could remember during the time of this guy doing everything to label IPOB a terrorist, he was actually, to the extent that Britain released from their fake media, they released that they are seeing IPOB, labeling IPOB a terrorist. From their fake media, Britain, of course, we know everything they do. They flaunted it. And then remember that just like Simon will tell you, he give 18 days to DSS. If they don't release Nnamdi Kanu, or 48 hours. If it doesn't work, he will come and tell you his account was hijacked or hacked. That is how they flaunt a news, to see how it is going to sell. If it is now coming back to haunt them, they tell you, my account is hacked. So that time Britain surfaced that. Channel TV reported it. Sahara Reporter reported it. IPOB is nearing to be proscribed by Britain, to the extent that they even amended their, law towards asylum seekers during that time, which affected even our people the most. Britain. That was when I discovered there is also an Western agenda behind what these autopilots are embarking upon. There is somebody that they do not know that is actually engineering this thing from the Western world that is going on, because the force they fear the most is IPOB. We are resolute. We are formidable. We don't fear you. We don't actually, all we know is that we speak the truth the way it is, without any adulteration. That is what we do. And now, somebody just came out from their cocoon just to come in because he interviewed Mazen Nnamdi Kanu without knowing that he is a sent agent. He is a double agent. And they set him up to actually send the struggle to its early grave. Because he knows if we are proscribed, no one will ever use any name IPOB around the world, because it is a terrorist name. That was their plan. We destroy it. We dismantled it on arrival. Now, the next thing they did is they planned everything. First of all, remember, I missed this. That is the first. They planned to integrate this criminal into our airwaves. They plan to send him to our airwaves so that everything he will be doing there, it will be coming straight from IPOB. That was how we were going to be doomed. And Mazen Nnamdi Kanu akocha akukia, because Nigeria is only looking for that in order to kill him and say we have killed the biggest terrorist in the world. That was the plan. They push for him to get into our airwaves, which is Radio Biafra. When he gets into our airwaves, he will be using our frequency to broadcast to the world, saying that he will kill this person, he will do that person, he will ban soldiers, he will do this, so that the whole world, and when he is saying it, the criminals that him and the politicians placed on the ground are going to actually be carrying something that is similar to this out, that the world will say, no, there is no hope for these people. And they will continue to show you that they have amputated somebody's arm, they have cut out somebody's vagina, they have cut out somebody's nose. Are you beginning to imagine what was that? That was the time they pushed an agenda to blacklist IPOB from existence, that Mazen Nnamdi Kanu will no longer come back to us. They tried it, they failed, because he could not abide by the, he couldn't meet the criteria to be administered into our airwaves, which is Radio Biafra. He could not meet the criteria. Why? He refused to sign the code of conduct that will now filter, will now, make everything that he is actually, all his activities must be filtered and rooted under command and control when he goes into our airwaves. The reason why he turned it down, the criteria, he didn't meet it, he refused to sign the code of conduct, because he knows his agenda. His agenda is to be like a freelancer into our airwaves. He say and do whatever he wants, and the responsibility now go back to our, our structure, our struggle. When he failed on arrival, he tried everything possible to blackmail the leadership of IPOB, to destroy the structure, because they believe that if this structure could, refuse me from achieving this through their airwaves, it means that there is something there that Mazen Nnamdi Kanu has been bragging about. Let me find a way to blackmail it, to criminalize this structure for people not to see the value of this structure. That was what this guy did. He called them criminal, the leaders in the structure, criminal. They have sold Mazen Nnamdi Kanu. They want to steal his platform. They told him that they will steal his platform, that he started playing victim because he could not meet the terms and conditions to be administered into Radio Biafra. He started playing victim. And some people whom their mind is, rooted, in negativity, they believed him. They championed his cause. That is the reason why you see them all over the place, including in my comment section as we speak, writing rubbish, writing things that a person whom tested the mother's cholesterol, tested the mother's milk, drink breast milk until even 6 months, will never think or reason like these people. But yet, they are all over the place, reasoning the way they are reasoning. I will tell you why. The reason why these people continue to reason the way they are reasoning, I want you to understand the limitation of a black man. A black man is positioned like a, animal. They were trained and positioned like animal. Psychologically, it is not physically, because those who suffer this physically might be those who were, transported to other nations. But psychologically, we were trained like animals. Where we embrace? We embrace something that is our destruction. We embrace our destruction more than we embrace our Savior. We are channeled to embrace destruction more than embracing the Savior. I will give you an example. Nigeria is seeing today the way the terrorist is taking over the place, ravaging the whole country, trying to Islamize you, trying to impose Sharia law on you, trying to emasculate you. You are not worried about that. All you are worried about is that Mazen Nnamdi Kanu is on Radio Biafra preaching. All you are worried about is that the country cannot be divided. Instead of the country to be divided, let terrorists emasculate us. It is okay. Have you now seen where the animality in black people clicks into the indigenous people of Nigeria? You embrace something that is destruction. You let go something that is savior. And it has been your limitation. And that is the reason why your government and anybody above you will continue to exploit you, because they will exploit you, they will kill you through hunger and starvation and all that. The next year, they will give you something, bag of rice and all that. You come out, you vote for them again, as if these people have a remote controlling you, because you will never ever embrace something that is going to save you. You always go for the things that is going to destroy you. Terrorism in Nigeria is fair than secession. What triggers secession? Terrorism, lack of inclusion, marginalization, injustices, inequality. That is what actually triggers the agitation, right? Ethnicity or diversity, it is part of it. Now, and another thing above all, Nigeria is man-made. If Nigeria is God's made, you will not have millions of churches in Nigeria, yet your prayers are difficult to be answered. They don't even turn up in heaven. Your prayers does not turn up in the third heaven. It does not turn up because your prayer goes to Britain. It goes to Britain because Britain created you. Therefore, they have to nurture you. Therefore, they have to actually answer to your prayers of Nigeria. If Britain refuses to answer to your prayer in Nigeria, there is no way your prayer will actually be answered. Because if they refuse to answer it, it is like pouring water on top of a stone. You cannot tell God to actually answer the prayer that you are praying when God gave you your own means of livelihood, like your own lifestyle, your own culture. He gave you. You allow a man to come and remove it, take it away from you, give you their own, champion this one. You don't even know how this one came by. You're championing it. Now you have to pray to those who gave you these things. You are praying to them. That's why you will tweet from now till 100 years to come. Nobody is paying attention. Now, what am I trying to say? Autopilot, they tried to use our Radio Biafra to incriminate us. They tried to tell us that the DSOS is criminal. Try to do everything to make the structure valueless to you in order for them to answer autopilot. It is exactly what is befalling Nigeria. Terrorists of Nigeria break up. Now in our struggle, they brought it in. Autopilot of IPOB, who is faithful and actually true to the cause of Biafra restoration. You are embracing autopilot. Nigeria is embracing terrorism, or total emasculation of Islamists. Now, what is different from you and Nigeria? Nothing. Simon Ekpa, the only place he explored everything, including creating government in exile, according to him. After that, he went into our security operative apparatus, security formation on the ground, because this security formation on the ground is what scares Nigeria the most. So he took it one step at a time. If he try here, it failed. He goes to another place. He try, it failed. He goes to another place. For you to know that the map to what they are doing was initiated, organized crime, and handed it over to him. Exploit it this way. And he is carrying it out. He is carrying it out. Convincing in his own activities. That is the reason why the only place he was able to infiltrate was our men on ground. He infiltrated them slightly, and some of those Biafra sympathizers in the media space. He infiltrated them and the men on the ground. Men on ground, he used money. Him and those those Akata devilish people used money to enter into the camps, buy one or two people. Now bring them out. Let them recruit some of them themselves. Bring them out. Turn them against the camp. Those who refuse to go with them, they turn them against the camp. Then if the camp now fight back, they will report that China Samoru is calling the members of ESN and they are being killed. Even if China Samoru called the name of a common criminal out there and say he is terrorizing our people, they will come and say China Samoru is calling the name of Eastern Security Network, so that you will know that their plan is to make you a terrorist. Because if we are trying to curb the menace of terrorist activities being perpetrated by the Autopilot and co, contrived politically, they are actually calling it a crime. They call it a crime because we are stopping them from carrying out terrorist activities. They call it a crime against China Samoru, against the DOS. They go back again. They now took these people. That was when you heard that they are creating armed group. The time I told you, I keep lamenting that these people are creating armed group. That Berima, all he wants is to have armed group so that he will be able to challenge Mazen Nnamdi Kanu and even to actually have a parallel group that will counter the activities of the Eastern Security Network. Just like I have told you, Eastern Security Network was the biggest challenge and a slap to the face of these Eastern governors, because what they could not do in 5 years, Eastern Security Network did it in 3 months. Made Biafra land to be safe and calm before they decided to take the commander. They now took the commander all of a sudden, which is Mazen Nnamdi Kanu. After taking the commander, they now instill fear in some of them, invaded them, infiltrated them, using money. You know your commander is gone. You know these people handling you. They are collecting money. They have collected money from federal government. They sold your commander. Now, all you need to do is to work for us, because these people you are actually believing that the Mazen Nnamdi Kanu told us to follow. They are compromised. That is the motivation, which if you are not mentally strong, you will never ever stand that type of motivation. Then people who are in the bush, what information do they have in the media? How they just manipulated them. They agree. Now they divided these camps. From there, they're recruiting innocent people, recruiting them, sending them to go and do criminality in Biafra land, killing people and extorting their body parts. That is how they cut off a military throat. It was their plan to call us a terrorist. It was their plan to destroy Eastern Security Network so that Fulani will come and take over our land and destroy it, just like they are doing in Benue State. If not the resoluteness of autumn, they will kill the whole River State. Benue State. They will kill they will emasculate them, even start impregnating their women. That was the plan. After that, they will enter Nsukka, Kogi, Ebonyi, all those places. They will just from there going, tracing the route of where they have to take over. That was the plan. So they failed. Now Simon Ekpa, he tried with government in exile. The criminals, his fellow criminal syndicate divided, and they stole it from, I don't know, from him. Now, he's been telling you that Biafra has how many days to go? Now, I want you to check how many days to the Nigeria general election, and you check whether it is actually close to the days he's giving you for Biafra to be restored. How many days is to Nigeria presidential election? Then you check it, you compare it, if there is any close, if they have any, they are close to each other. Then you will now define what exactly is those days he's giving you, counting down. Now, another thing is that all these things we've been presenting, crying, lamenting, Sunday Igboho, you saw it. You cannot say you did not see all this because it is our topic. And the reason why we make it our topic all the time, it is because we know the extent of the damages. So there is nobody who is truthful to the cause of restoration and the liberation of the indigenous people, that will say they are not aware of what is going on. They are all aware of what is going on. Now, Sunday Igboho, you saw all these things. Let me remind you people when Sunday Igboho might be compromised, might got compromised. Remember during the time Obasanjo went to visit Sunday Igboho, I told you that Obasanjo is going to visit Sunday Igboho. I hope Sunday Igboho will be resolute. Obasanjo went there to propose for Benin Republic to grant him an asylum. Those who followed that time news will understand what I am talking about. To grant him an asylum. Obasanjo is a one Nigerianist, of course. He's a one Nigerianist. He went on behalf of Sunday Igboho. And there was that travel he traveled for Sunday Igboho. There were so many stories behind it that he went to Tanzania. From there, he visited Francophobia in another country. From there, he went to, funeral. From there, he now visited Sunday Igboho. That is the storyline around that time. They do not want to report it straight that he went to actually speak to Sunday Igboho. Remember that Obasanjo is a double agent. Obasanjo is double agent. And not in Nigeria. For European, from the Western world. From the Western world. Now, why Obasanjo? Because he need to be like, he need to be like a middleman in everything that is going on in Nigeria, and he will actually find a way to put it in the form that it will favor the West also. And what is going to favor the West is for the agitation to stop, while the terrorists will now emasculate you. It is in favor of the West. Just like it is in favor of the West that you discovered gold in Zamfara State. They build airports inside the bush using aeroplane to mine the gold and take away. It will be in their favor. Now, Obasanjo went and convinced Sunday Igboho, you are still a young man. There is a way we do it. You cannot go through, direction or dimension of Omo Igbo. All these things, they filtered it through his ear. Now, that is when they now gave him a soft landing in Benin Republic. They gave him a soft landing. Why? Now they hold Mazen Nnamdi Kanu because they tried everything. They have sent all the Igbo governors, ex-governors, senators. They could not convince Mazen Nnamdi Kanu. That is the reason why he is still there. A common sense is no longer common, people. Now, Igboho got convinced. Have you asked yourself that the reason why ever since Igboho came out, has he been active on the media? Has he been active in the things that is happening around the struggle? Why all of a sudden for Igboho to come to the media, it is to come and have a meeting with those infiltrating IPOB, another Afonja. Because that is what they plan to do. Let's take advantage of this friendship that Mr. Kanu formed with Biafra and Oduduwa. Let's take advantage of it to see if it is going to, because we have explored every possible route in order to infiltrate these people. It is not doable. It is not getting done. Let us find another way that we can do it, which is going to be, let's use the alliances, because these people are very, very emotional fools. That's what they call Biafrans. They're emotional. And I don't blame them, because so many of our people, they are emotional fools. Believe you me, so many of them are emotional fools. You cannot even comprehend, their activities. You can never ever comprehend their activities. So many of our people. Now, you ask yourself, what is it that is going on that is making these people actually not to? I think hold on for me. I think we ported this video. I hope we didn't disturb anything. Okay, we did not. So I ported it to somewhere where it's not supposed to be. I didn't check. So they tried everything. So all they need to do now is to take advantage of that same. They want to take advantage of that friendship between us and Oduduwa. And that is exactly what they did. They took advantage of it. After taking advantage of it, they now decided, let's have a joint broadcast, because this guy there that is trying to do this thing is losing momentum. He is no longer, he is actually, if we get him like this, he is going to give up. Let's give him more support. Because the way you are abandoning this, they need to also find a way to make Biafrans weak and divide them. And they know that the only way to get to Igbo man is divide them. Divide them. That is the Igbo man. That's why you see hinterland today acting like they are not Igbos. Once you divide them, make them territorial, you have gotten to the Igbo man. You have destroyed the Igbo man. And that's what they did. They now went through Sunday Igboho, Banji Akintoye. Now let me remind you something. What made me actually notice that what they did was not a mistake. It was indeed what they wanted to do. Let me show you. Before
of Koiki Media and also the spokesman for Chief Sunday Adeyemo Igboho. First and foremost,
he is Koiki or Kai. He is a spokesperson for Sunday Igboho. This actually makes sense of everything that we are waiting for to do on Friday. This makes sense that it is not accidentally that happened. It was well-planned approach. They took it, they explored it, it is now working. They believe it is going to work for them. Now, out of frustration, because they did not see this, they didn't see this coming. They know, they call us emotional fools, because when somebody will rise up today to come and say, we are, like people like Wike, after killing our people, one day sympathize with you once, you will think, yeah, you will start giving him accolade. He has killed your people, but sympathize with you once, you start giving him accolade. The same thing you did with Simon. He insulted the integrity of your struggle, and he came back, you start giving him accolade. Now, after that, what happened is that this guy, they wanted to take advantage of our relationship and the emotions of our people. They are very emotional. If we can come and join them, they will say, no, they might not talk because for the sake of that, relationship Mazen Nnamdi Kanu built. They don't know we don't send anybody. We don't send anybody. As long as you want to use your own to spoil my own, I don't send you. You want to use your compromised behavior to destroy my, blessings. No. I send you to the pit of hell where you come from. That's why we do not care. We don't fear or favor anybody. We speak the way it is. He said his name, he is a spokesman to Sunday Igboho. So Sunday Igboho knows everything happening. Since his spokesman knows everything happening, because I believe our people actually gave a message to them even before the city. It happened, but they actually turn a blind eye to it. Let's listen to what he has to say, because he's a Kai man.
I'm going to try and speak English to direct message back to the IPOB that we are Yorubas, a very proud one. Whatever you have against what took place yesterday, you have the right in your own capacity, but you don't have the right to tell us who we deal with among you, IPOB. We can deal.
Did you hear that? For you to know that these people, this Afonja generation, they know exactly what they are doing. They have the right, according to them, to deal with anybody they want to deal with in IPOB. That we don't have the right to choose for them whom they have to deal with in IPOB. That says it all. Do you know why it says it all? It is because this guy knows everything that is going on. And this guy and his master, which is Banji Akintoye Prof. Let me find that, let me find out that poster. Of course, no need of going back, because for the sake of time, Banji Akintoye Prof said that he is not working with Mazen Nnamdi Kanu. He is not working with Mazen Nnamdi Kanu. There are so many idiots talking about saying that if he said he's not working with Mazen Nnamdi Kanu, that was in the past. People who reason from their earnings. This is it. The one on the 31st, you see as 31st May 2021. That was when he issued that comment. He is not working with Nnamdi Kanu. but come back working with anti-Nnamdi Kanu. And they claim that these people they are working with is IPOB, even though we have told them to use it, that they giving them their names, Autopilot. This guy have the guts also to come out and say, we cannot choose for us whom we want to work with in IPOB. Is that not idiocy? Is that not the ignorance of a black man? You are now forcing an organization to accept whom they are not recognized as their member, who is not even their member, is never registered. You are now forcing, is that not illiteracy? Brain of a black man. Had it been he came here and say, you cannot force us whom to work with in the struggle for restoration of Biafra. We've chose to work with Autopilot. Kudos. Correct. But you came here to tell us, you cannot tell us whom to work with in IPOB. Is there any seal that shows that Simon Ekpa is IPOB? And when did you hear Mazen Nnamdi Kanu telling you that Simon Ekpa is a leader in any leader in the struggle or a spokesperson? When did you hear that? You can work with anybody that you want to work with, it does not matter. But as long as you use that name IPOB, you choose your people, with respect. Because the problem you people have in Nigeria, you don't understand the right of anybody. This is a product of Nigeria. You does not understand the right of an institution, does not understand the right of an organization. You don't know when you are, actually violating an organization. Now, you will prejudice an organization and you expect them to keep quiet. You will play an act of prejudice towards an organization. You expect them to keep quiet. That's what you people are doing. And you come here to talk like, of course, you are Fonja. And you don't have any manner of approach. That has been your problem. No manner of approach. Because you believe you can. You come to the media, you talk what you want to talk about. It doesn't matter. You are referring to Ndibo. We didn't see you before we start actually recognizing our good Yoruba people. This is the reason why we, Mazen Nnamdi Kanu, to continue to tell you Yoruba media, this is part of it. You are the problem. Never ever objective in their reportage. Now, listen to what he has to say to people after violating the organization.
Deal with anybody that we feel that is the right person to deal with. Mm-hmm. If you have a problem with that, you can go into any of the bridge or rivers across the world where you are and jump into the...
That is it. That is how foolish, ignorant that is ravaging them in the zoo. Product of zoo. When you see them, you will know. These are product of zoo. They will be acting like they are fighting for Yoruba nation. They are fighting for their own pocket, these people. Politicians have bought them over. Of course, you know Emilokon. Emilokon is capable of doing anything. Emilokon is a World Bank. Why do you think they will have a World Bank like Emilokon and they will not do something to bring more confusion? Because the more they bring more confusion, they said that Igbo people are emotional. Let's use these people with trigger, no election, no election, no election. Igbo people will start going there and killing themselves. While Yoruba people, they will act like they are too innocent. That is the plan. You will go there and the innocent people will be dying in the name of no election. Yoruba people will tell you, no, we don't choose to the way of violence. We have not chosen our freedom fighting in the way of violence. Who is fooling who here? Banji Akintoye. Who is fooling who here? You people should not start what you cannot finish. You should not ever start what you cannot finish. Because if you start what you cannot finish, I believe even, it will give you a sleepless night. It will give you a sleepless night. Now, of course, he is not working with Mazen Nnamdi Kanu, but he chose to work with anybody that they claim he's working under Mazen Nnamdi Kanu, but he is not working with Mazen Nnamdi Kanu. As so many people who reason from their annals may say, it is last year. Now, let me remind you, because you people forget so quickly. Let me remind you how, some of these, Yoruba people betrayed Mazen Nnamdi Kanu. Let me remind you, because you people forget so quickly. You don't have retentive memory. Let me remind you. Pay attention. Now, I want you to check here. Of course, you know who is this. I'm going to remind you.
Together with all the other freedom fighters in this country and those that have stood up for the downtrodden. I don't really see what the fuss is about concerning the statement. Sorry, go ahead.
Of course, you know this program. This program was anchored by this, young man that you saw his face right now, not Femi Fani-Kayode. It was anchored by the young man whom it was a Zoom meeting with Femi Fani-Kayode, Mazen Nnamdi Kanu, himself, the anchor man, and among others. But I want to actually capitalize on Femi Fani-Kayode. Femi Fani-Kayode was singing praises of Nnamdi Kanu when he was out there. Femi Fani-Kayode was telling you APC is the worst this thing that he spent. Okay, I don't know if he said it here. Let me actually not speak it for him. Let him speak it by himself.
Option on the broadcast.
Please,
can you hear me?
All the co-moderators, whoever unmutes, please remove that individual, please. Thank you. Go ahead.
Can I proceed? Yes.
Yes.
So
please.
let me again start by commending the courage and the resilience of Nnamdi Kanu together with his IPOB members and also so many other freedom fighters in this country and people that have fought for the liberation of their people. It's very, very clear to me that what has happened in Lagos and indeed all over the country is something that cannot be stopped and cannot be resisted. And it's a collective. Lots of people from different groups, different backgrounds, different tribes saying enough is enough. And for me, that's a good thing. What I don't want and what I don't believe in is anarchy, though. And I think it's very, very important that this protest, this resistance continues to be peaceful and it shouldn't degenerate into anarchy because that will not help anybody at all. In terms of the comment that my brother made, I, for example, have spoken on many occasions when it is that people from the Southeast particularly, or Northern Christians, or even core Northerners, or even from the Niger Delta area have been killed and slaughtered. And they have been killed and slaughtered over the last 5 years by either government agents or militia sponsored by the government, like the Fulani herdsmen and so on and so forth. And I, as a Yoruba man, have spoken against that. And I've also condemned people, leaders from the East, from the North, and so on and so forth, without sparing any of them when these things are done to those people. So I really don't see what the problem is when a situation occurs in the Southwest and our own people are being slaughtered by security agencies, when people from the outside show legitimate concerns about mass murder and the slaughter of children who are simply protesting for their rights. And somebody from outside the Southwest now says, well, this is wrong, and perhaps gets a little bit upset and says one or two things he may not have said in terms of targeting people out of anger. And then somebody now tries to turn it into another narrative to make it look as if he's trying to infiltrate the Southwest, and then to go as far as to say that the whole thing are Igbos against Yorubas. Nothing could be further from the truth. This is not an ethnic struggle, what's going on right now. This is an uprising. It's like a revolution against the tyranny of this government and the tyranny of those that control this government. And there are some identifiable faces behind those that control this government. We can't run away from that. We have people like Tinubu who are involved, people like Buhari himself, some of the governors have collaborated, and these people are perceived as collaborators with oppression.
Did you hear that? Are you hearing that? These are the people who told you we have people like Tinubu, APC today, the one that he is in the maybe I don't know if he's the campaign manager of Tinubu today. We have people like Buhari. He went back and joined these same people. Immediately when Mazen Nnamdi Kanu was having a problem, he went and joined them, forgetting everything he said about these same people. Is that not an irony? What do you expect to understand? These are the people that will lead you in the middle of a nowhere, and they will call the rain to come or they will give you salt. When you are going out there, they call rain to come and rain upon you. These are the type of people. And that is the character you will find now in Igboho, Banja Akintoye, because they are compromised. I wonder who is going to save the Yoruba nation. I am praying for them. I am praying for them. Who is going to save them? Because we want freedom for every indigenous people in Nigeria that need freedom. We want their freedom because they are our fellow Black people. They are our people. Not like they are our fellow Black people, Africans. We want freedom for everybody. And we know nobody will be free in the structure they don't know how it was erected. More, a century ago. That is exactly the reason why our own perspective is different from others. Our own, energy is different from others. We want to include everybody. We want to help everybody. But now they are taking it as our weakness, using it against us, calling us a fools, giving us middle fingers. Because they know that some of our people like money. Some of our people like money. That's why they went to support those who is trying to destroy the struggle, give them their media, give them their, had it been Sunday Igboho was that famous person in the struggle, imagine the damage it will cost. But I thank God that, he came out when he came out from the Benin Republic prison. He never talked. He never did anything to show he's a freedom fighter. Maybe once in a while he will tweet to act like he is still there. With forgetting that people were killed in his house. It is not about him running away for his life. People were killed in his house. Animal was actually arrested also in his house. He's forgetting all those things quickly. Any movement that has taken the life of people, if you betray that movement, it will never go well with you. It will never go well with you. That is the way it is. Blood is thicker than water. You can't just spill it without it coming back to you. That's where it is. Now, in this regard, you will now bear yourselves witness that if you take what happened during the time of the war in 1967, some of these Yoruba people, not all of them, some of them, they stood against justice to prevail. They betrayed us. But that is the things of the past. But we always see the present, use it and remind the past that you are still there. You are not forgotten. Those are gazetted history. Now, let me show you what is it. Okay, let me show you something. In case those of you who did not remember when Obasanjo traveled to Benin Republic. Let me show you the headline. Of course, you can see it. Now, I am not going to read it further because I don't have time to read it further. But of course, you have seen it. So, having seen all that, you will understand that there is something wrong somewhere. Now, having seen this lady before this thing happened, you remember the activities of this lady. You remember the activities of this lady. I hope you remember, you haven't forgotten. Some of our media warriors, they actually talked about her. Activities of this lady. This lady came to the public and started calling Nigeria to kill Mazen Nnamdi Kanu, saying that Shekau is better than Mazen Nnamdi Kanu. Now, Mazen Nnamdi Kanu, Shekau was killing only people from northern region. He is not killing people outside from his place. That's why he is better than Mazen Nnamdi Kanu. And that Mazen Nnamdi Kanu must be killed. No Yoruba media came out to actually caution this woman here. No Yoruba media came out to caution her. As if it didn't sell, they now plan a meeting. Sunday Igboho, it is now time. Go to the media without knowing what is their bail condition. Go to the media there. You can go to the media, promote this guy. Promote him because you are the only person who has influence. The caller, I will put you on speaker now. You are the only person who have the influence that might make these emotional fools continue to believe in this infiltrator and a double agent. Go and give him accolade. Go and make them believe that it is him. Maybe Mazen Nnamdi Kanu gave you also a secret assignment to support Simon Ekpa. But we are not fools. We have a caller here. We're going to take that call and we're going to be rounding up. The caller on the line, please come in. Marian Heather.
Good morning, my brother. Good morning. How are you? And how is everybody doing? My utmost respect to everyone. My utmost respect to UOS. My utmost respect to Chief Odiziem. My utmost respect, of course, to Maazi Ombadike1 of Biafra land. And for some reason, our Lolo has been coming into my mind, my spirit. So I lift her in prayers. I thank God for her life. I think it's her emotions that I'm feeling. So I want her to know that we're holding her in prayers. We remember her. We have not forgotten her. But our focal point right now is to extract our Hamadike. He's coming out by his grace. So quickly, my name's Marian Heder, and I'll be speaking from Maryland. Yes, my brother, I just want to let you know, Judge Money, the way you're navigating this program this morning, I just tuned in, is going to be one of your best again. I like the way you're cleaning your argument, making it straightforward without no whist or buts. That, listen, they are fool. I call him a complete fool. Because birds of the same feather must always flock together. Not only will they flock together, they mate together. Yes, nobody is arguing with him. Nobody is trying to stop him from lining up or alliancing with anybody he wants to. The only reason why we are coming in, the only reason why we are making statements, the only reason why we're interjecting in this foolishness they did are these. One, Ekperima has never been, is not a member of IPOB, period. So somebody who is not a member of organization or group cannot be a representative in any way, ramification, in any level you go about it. That is what we are trying to put into the coconut head of that coin media or whatever. Because if he's making a statement that he has whatever relationship, or they made a relationship with Autopilot Cr1M1Nql, Gumi of Hidu, whatever name he calls him, somebody like me and somebody like you and all of us, because I know we're brilliant, intelligent individuals who look at things critically before we come to talk about it, wouldn't have mentioned their name because they're irrelevant as far as what we're doing is concerned. What they're doing is has nothing to do with us. But it's when they interject the names of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu or Hamadike one, the leader, the founder and the leader of IPOB. He is not a founder of Autopilot. He's not a founder of MASOP. He's not a founder of the Biafran National League. Neither is he a founder of anything called Biafra, if there's any organization like that. He is not. That's the message you are directing into their thick skull to get it. You cannot build a house on thin air. What is the foundation of Biafra they had an alliance with? So that's what we're trying to communicate with them. Remove his names from your mouth. Remove the picture of Mazi from whatever you're doing. Remove anything that, because first of all, one of your elders, we know how Yorubas behave, with all due respect, they have great respect for their elders, whether they're stupid or not. That's part of the culture. And some of their younger ones are getting it. We cannot respect you because of age. We respect you because of what you have, what you can bring, intelligence, your acumen, your experiences. When you have been a criminal all your life, you can still get old. It doesn't mean you're smart or you're a noble person. So Akintoye or whatever that man is, made a statement. I have continued to tell people, once you make a statement on social media, you cannot retrieve it. It's just like somebody who shot a gun. You cannot take your bullet back. Once you write something and you push that word, E-N-T-E-R, enter, you cannot control where it goes. So, that man, that part, made statements and wrote things. I am not in relationship with Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. I'm not working with his group. Period. Secondly, he said Nnamdi Kanu makes noise, that Nnamdi Kanu is creating mayhem. That's a subject we know is not true. We're not debating that. But how can you make such a statement? And now you want to position yourself that you made an alliance with Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. It cannot work. Then there is something. The reason why I called is this: an argument I want to raise for us again, to look at it critically and debate on it or push it out. Did they have an alliance on Saturday? I'm asking you an honest question, Judge Money. What they're saying, are they saying that they just had an alliance with Ekperima? Is that what they're saying?
No, they said that they have alliance with IPOB.
I understand, but is that what they're saying that happened on Saturday?
I don't get your question. Come again.
Okay, what happened on Saturday, right? Whatever they showcased, is what they present. Are they trying to say that they had just had an alliance? They just underline the word just. They just had an alliance with Ekperima. Whatever group he represented, is that what they're saying?
No.
What is the argument?
The argument is that they made a joint program saying that they have united with Biafra, with the Biafran struggle led by Mazen Nnamdi Kanu, which is, they call it IPOB as well. That they have united.
Okay, so I know, I have cleared up that one. They did not make any alliance with us because our structure is not involved. Why I asked this question, it's been in my mind. But for 3 or 4 times I spoke on this subject this Sunday. Anytime I want to speak, he would elude me. It just came back. That's why I'm calling. Okay. Now, if that is why I say that we must argue this, that I don't think they had any relationship, this particular group, with Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. Because if they had a relationship with Mazi, our Mazi, when Mazi was out, you cannot be establishing another relationship with Mazi again.
Yes.
Think about what I'm trying to say. It's critical.
Yes.
So what is telling me they had nothing with Mazi, just like the part is saying they have never had any relationship with Mazi. If Mazi had any alliance, it is not this particular group.
Yes.
Because my argument is this: if Mazi had any understanding with them, there would have been no news or no need for them to have a fresh understanding with this Saturday, Sunday. But each time I made a call, I forget it, because when so, because if they had something with Mazi, they cannot come up and say they're having something, a new thing. Do you understand what I mean?
Yeah.
They can't do that. Because if that's just like now, I agree with you to do something. I come in talk with you, I have an agreement. It doesn't matter the level of agreement, whether it's small, big, or small. You and I reach an agreement, have an understanding. Let me use the lighter word, understanding. Then, from nowhere, a friend of mine, after a week or two, says now they're having an understanding with you on my behalf. If I already have an understanding with you, you don't need any fresh understanding with anybody representing me. Yeah, even if it's true. But in this case, it's even false. The person is not representing me. So that is why I'm insisting. I'm putting a big if Mazi had any understanding with this particular group. Because if Mazi had any understanding with this particular group, this part is not dumb. This part does not have brain damage. He couldn't have continued even when he went on BBC to say, I am not working with Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. So that brings me to the total argument. They have not been working with Mazi. Mazi had no relationship with them. I can bet myself. No agreement. So for them to use Mazi's name is a violation. And that's what we're trying to let the world know. Mazi has never had anything to do with this particular group. I'm not talking about Oduduwa.
Yes.
Because they have splinter groups, more than 30.
Yes.
Because, you understand, I don't know whether I believe you will, because you're smart. So that's why I wanted to bring it. Because iron sharpeneth iron.
Correct.
You might have a thought that is coming to you. I may have a thought that is why we call it interaction. We call it discussion. We discuss with one another so that you can pull what is in me, I can pull what is in you, and make a whole argument. So I want us to continue, as now we are cleaning up, to let the world know that IPOB is not Biafran movement, but IPOB is a component that is struggling, fighting for the restoration of Biafra, just like their group are claiming they are fighting, struggling for the restoration of whatever they are doing with Oduduwa. Because every member of IPOB is a Biafran, but every Biafran is not a member of IPOB.
Yes.
That's my argument. Thank you, my brother. God bless. I don't know whether I made it clear.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much. It is indeed a very important, one that you just brought in. Thank you very much for calling.
Yeah, because if they didn't say that was why I asked you the question. They didn't say they're renewing their agreement or they're not renewing. It's a fresh agreement.
It is.
So you cannot have a fresh agreement when you already had an agreement with the individual or the group. And that is why they did not contact our structure, because they had nothing with Mazi. They have had anything with Mazi. Whatever they come up with, they are doing with TERRORISM, which they are free to do. But let them remove anything that has to do with our leader from their point of view. That's all.
Exactly.
Thank you, my brother. God bless you.
Bless you. Thank you very much. And great dear friends all over the world and the lovers of freedoms. Of course, you know, our sister Marian Hedda is always on point. And they say, two heads are better than one. Two heads, because the other one will remember what you forgot, and they will remind each other. So she made a valid point there. They have never, these people, they don't have anything with Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. It is possible, because if you ask yourself question, if these people are indeed fighting for freedom, and you find them in Nigeria, which they are not being disturbed, someone like Banji Akintoye, without being disturbed, because they are pretending to fight for freedom. It is not necessarily, there are people who will be placed in a particular, in a particular settings. That is called a double agent. Pretend as if you are fighting for freedom while you are the mediator. Maybe they made you the custodian of the decisions or the mediator of that organization, so that whenever there is something that will make them to go forward to the freedom, plunge it. Use your power of attorney to plunge it, or use your power of a mediator to plunge it. That is exactly what you see in that man. For those of you who respect him, I respect his age, but I don't respect his ideas and philosophy. We don't want people who believe, if you deserve respect from me, you must earn it. If you don't earn respect from me, you will not be given it. It will not be given to you. How do you earn respect from me? As an elder person, you need to be truthful. Live a life that is worth emulating. Live a life that if I look at you, I will say I will learn from you. Because Banji Akintoye is not ignorant in what he's doing. He is a prof. He is a prof. He is not ignorant in what he's doing. He knows that using the name of organization to actually steal from somebody, it is an act of prejudice. And in this regard, you are even liable to jail time. You are liable to jail time. Now, at the end of the day, you know this as a prof that you are. Yet you invited this infiltrator, criminal, and you entertained him, saying you have united with IPOB, Biafras, and you people want us to start clapping for you. You have reunited with us. To hell with you people and that your unification. We know when we see our Yoruba brothers, the agitators, we recognize them when we see them. And that is exactly the way it is. We are not going to continue to think like zoo animal, that, when you see animal is dying, choking, you are trying to help it, it is running to go and die. But you that is the savior, they're running away from you to go and die. That is the lifestyle of people in the zoo. It is going to be a time that you need to choose between Fulani terrorists emasculating you and the total dissolution of Nigeria, total disintegration of Nigeria. Let everybody go their way. Let's take it back the way God made it. Of course, some of you will still choose to be emasculated instead of carrying out this idea of Mazen Nnamdi Kanu. Instead of it being an Igbo man that will wake me up, I'd rather be Fulanized by Fulani and be emasculated by Fulani, place me under Sharia law. That is what you see playing out in Nigeria. The brain of a black man, it was tempered with. It was tempered with. We are having another call. I don't know if, okay. The caller on the line, please make it brief. Your name and where you're calling from, please.
Yes, Mazi George Money. God will continue to bless you and protect you. I'm so happy about your expose. I was thinking that when Simon Ekpa came to this struggle, say, where are we going to have somebody that will challenge this stupid boy? And God brought you into this struggle. May God continue to protect and guide you with your excellent and intelligent expose. My name is, I'm an elder. I live in Atlanta, Georgia. Here, I'm Mazi Jude Matthew Leka, an elder that living in Atlanta, Georgia. Let me tell you something. This particular group you see that is they call the Oduduwa group or the Yoruba group. Their name in the USA is called, everything originated in the USA here. Those people that were expelled from IPOB in the USA, led by Oliver Obi and Ejasi. Those people that move along with them, they went and teamed up with this Yoruba group. Their name is called Indigenous People of Nigeria in Diaspora. Remember what I told you, that their name is called Indigenous People of Nigeria in Diaspora. They wanted to call the name of Indigenous People of Biafra. They look alike as if we are together. They added me to that group. But when I found the activities, what they were doing, I challenged them. They have to remove me from that group. These people are nobody. It's a particular group of people trying to, they called Simon Ekpa into the group and Azuka them and Oliver Obi them. They are the people that team up with this Yoruba. After we had our joint rally in Atlanta here, I was the one that led the IPOB members on that particular rally. We have to go to the downtown the State House in Atlanta a few years back. This group, they must have foresight into what they have now. From the indigenous people of Biafra and Nigeria, now they're attacking. They call someone in with all these people that they were expelled from IPOB. They are the one now who are teamed up to attack Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. They are waiting for Mazi Nnamdi Kanu to come out before they start what they are doing. They are all politicians. They are all politicians. I'm telling you because I was among them. I saw what they were doing before I challenged them. They took me out.
Yes, I know. I know they are politicians. Nelly Ofebu, I have one of her picture here. But Nelly Ofebu, she's been crossing a line lately. It's like he wants to actually see those things Simon shared, before, to see it surfacing again.
Let me tell you something. Do you know what Simon is doing? This group, they're now contacting Tom Polo. Simon Ekpa is looking for a soft landing. He knew that his game plan has been exposed and disgraced. Yes. This group are looking for where they would soft land. They want to go and add themselves with Igboho, thinking that Igboho is somebody that they can challenge as in Nnamdi Kanu. And they are making contact now. They're making every contact to make sure they are with Tom Polo. They are making every move to move into Tompolo, but Tompolo do not have their time. If Tompolo wanted to do anything, Tompolo will be ready to talk to Wazirike and talking to Simon Ekpa, because Simon Ekpa, this particular group, they don't have any structure on ground. They don't have anybody on ground. That was why they infiltrated into our ESN, trying to see if they can get that push up because of the money. Simon Ekpa always go to where the money is at. Simon Ekpa is trying to cash out from the money they are giving to Tompolo now. He wants to be part of that money. Simon Ekpa is a criminal. That boy is dangerous as anything. He's a criminal.
He is.
Thank you.
Thank you very much for calling. So, I think let us remind these people once more before we call it a day. Because
no dabbling in volunteer affairs or ESN affairs in Edo State. ESN is anybody not following anything that DOS says goes. Anybody not following orders from Chike, Dosiem from DOS, you will be removed and sanctioned appropriately. You know, before we remove you without knowing where you are. This time around, we will catch you before we remove you. Anything DOS says is what goes. Unsurumike is heading our reconciliation committee. If he calls you on the phone, you must listen to him and do as he says. He is our deputy head of Directorate of State, led by Mazi Chike, Dosiem. They are the highest decision-making body in IPOB. If that thing is difficult, then now refer it to me. Do you understand? Anything, if they call you on the phone, you don't return their call, or you're doing strong head, I will then believe that the zoo has brought you over and you'll be dealt with. Edo State, be warned. No dabbling in volunteer affairs or ESN affairs in Edo State. ESN is in Edo State for your information. And very soon.
So, of course, you heard it. And the last one, and we call it
Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, a British national and political activist who was traveling on a British passport when he was kidnapped and tortured in Kenya for 8 days by Kenyan and Nigerian government-sponsored criminals. Mazi Nnamdi Kanu was renditioned to Nigeria on a government-chartered flight without extradition process. Nigerian government continues to hold Mazi Nnamdi Kanu captive under severe torture, treating him worse than a condemned criminal. In spite of all the protests around the world condemning extraordinary rendition of this great eloquent political activist and demanding for his release, Boris Johnson's British government continues to do nothing and says nothing to free Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, who is a British citizen and who is being tortured to death by the Islamist fundamentalist-controlled government of Nigeria. The questions now are, what does Boris Johnson's British government know about the planned kidnapping, torture, and rendition of this British citizen in the hands of the Islamist fundamentalist-controlled Nigerian government? Mazi Nnamdi Kanu is neither a criminal nor a wanted person in the civilized world. Why is Boris Johnson's British government romanticizing with this Islamist fundamentalist-controlled Nigerian government who are sponsoring terrorism around the world? Why is the British High Commissioner to Nigeria, Miss Katrina Liang, romanticizing holding hands and taking photos with the terrorists who are holding her own British citizen captive unlawfully? If Mazi Nnamdi Kanu is to be a white British citizen, would he be abandoned to die in a foreign country for committing no crime? The answer is no. For asking for the freedom of Biafran people in Nigeria, Mazi Nnamdi Kanu has committed no crime known to law. For practicing Judaism, Mazi Nnamdi Kanu has committed no crime known to law. calling on the world leaders to free Mazen Nnamdi Kanu now to avoid the dire consequences if Mazen Nnamdi Kanu is killed by Nigerian government and her accomplices. Free Mazen Nnamdi Kanu now. Let Biafra go. What the Almighty God cannot do does not exist. This message is supported by the human rights advocates.
Free Mazen Nnamdi Kanu now. The campaign still carries on. I want to inform Biafrans all over the world, lovers of freedom, great people of Africa. It is very, very important that we continue to be vocal about our freedom from this, neo-colonialists. We must be careful because the one that is still coming, remember when you are planting a good seed, the enemy will be somewhere looking forward to plant a counter seed that will counter your good seed. So that is the reason why you must remain resolute, be proactive, trying to educate your people as much as you can. Just like one thing you need to understand, what you need to actually not forget ever, that our mind is positioned like the minds of animals. When you are seeing a savior, you are running away from savior. When you are seeing something that will destroy you, exploit you, kill you through hunger and starvation, you run to that thing. You run away from a savior, you run to, a destroyer. That is the character. That is adulterated brain that black man, most of the black men has. And we must change it. We must change it. Because if we don't change it, it will continue to haunt us, haunt our children, haunt our coming generation. That is the reason why this generation say enough is enough. We must make a difference. We cannot continue to be a human being while smelling like an animal. On that note, I am going to leave it here. Until we meet again, stay safe and stay informed. Let me find out. I don't know if it is today that the head of directorate will be coming online. Let me find out to inform you. Okay, join the landmark. Today is what? Okay, tomorrow. Mazi Chike Doziem will be online tomorrow. So make sure you tune in. Make sure you tune in. If I am actually available, I will present it to you in our platforms. But if I am not, I will join and watch with you. So great Biafrans all over the world, lovers of freedom, we are bringing this program to an end. We have actually given you this message. It is up to you to share the message and let our people be free. Until we meet again, stay safe, stay informed. Bye for now.